Scott, once again, you and this side have proven that this season is not going to end in a boring fashion at all. Another late-minute winner from what we think was David Ogbonna in the end. Just sum up your thoughts on the game and how it ended.
I think David and Slavia are arguing about who scored it, and I think it was David. We just watched the video back, and David was the one that got the touch where the ball was at his furthest over the line. So, that's obviously great news for David. Another goal, great way to win it. It's always a nice way to win it. Obviously, you'd rather be more comfortable in a game and be ahead earlier and be able to see it out, but I think we showed a real steeliness about us today. I think first half we were good value, but they looked dangerous from putting crosses in the box. Jordan Grealish is a real handful, really difficult to mark, always a threat with him on the pitch. We didn't really get our distances quite right at times, so they put some really good balls in and hurt us on a few occasions, but we sort of rode the storm, and then second half we came out with a little bit of a different idea to us and how we were going to play. We needed to be better with the ball in the second half, in higher areas of the pitch, and I thought we were. It looked like it was obviously going to fizzle out to a 1-1 draw, and then lo and behold, a good little link-up play, ball across the box, and then the goalmouth scramble, whatever you want to call it. I can't really remember it right now. I think the defenders on the halfway line, exhausted. It was a tough game. It's a big pitch. It was relentless, but to come out on the right side of it is fantastic for us, and it keeps the season going for another week.
And we saw it again for the second game running, a goal inside the first minute of the game. Is that a coincidence, or is it something you've been working on at all? Because it was, again, another fantastic goal, and Matt Lynch, I'm sure, will be very happy with that one as well.
They started with a narrow shape, and David obviously got the ball to his feet. It was an easy pass out to him, I think, from Christy. He's driven in, obviously set up Lenchy, and Lenchy's hit an absolutely wonderful strike. So fair credit, or full credit to Lenchy for hitting that. I was right behind it. It was in the whole way. It was one of them ones that you look at and you just applaud straight away. So, Lenchy's obviously got us in front. And then their goal was really scruffy. We kind of switched off from a throw-in. And then a bit of a loose ball in the box. I think me and Jordan Grealish went shoulder to shoulder. A square pass, and I think it's taken a deflection off either me or Temi, I'm not sure. And then just wrong-footed Dan. But we've shown great character again, to come from being level and get our noses in front. And I thought second half we were pretty comfortable. They'll probably be disappointed, if I'm honest. They've got some fantastic players who at times today I thought they looked like they were going to hurt us, and maybe just the final pass was, the execution of it was a little bit skew-iff at times. We obviously showed a real different side to us today, and one that I'm really proud of. Massive 3 points at a place where we've always found it difficult. They're a good side, really like Jay and his management team, they're good people. So we knew it was going to be difficult, especially after the 5-2 defeat, September I think it was. I went back through the video this morning. I watched my interview this morning as a little bit of fuel, because it was a difficult day. So that kind of spurred me on to try and right the wrongs. And we mentioned it before the game. Yella went through it. He watched the game and watched the interview yet again. And I think we've come a long way from then. So I think that's really pleasing to know that we've improved vastly, and we're all certainly pulling in the right direction. I think the lads that played for us that day that I maybe questioned, I think they've shown now they're more than capable of playing at this level, and everyone's doing a fantastic job on and off the pitch, players and staff and supporters.
So just to quickly go back to the first half still, I think it was noticed by a lot of people, probably yourself, I think you've kind of alluded to it, that it seemed after that initial spell that Slough had, it felt like Tonbridge were growing slowly into the game. And I think it was a surprise for everyone when we saw Jordan Grealish come off the pitch being substituted. Did you feel like that helped the side kind of?
It's a good question. Listen, I'm a novice when it comes to management. Jay's had a much better career than I have, and if I have half the career that he's had, he's done brilliantly well in non-league. So I'll never question his decisions. He obviously knows his players, but I did feel like it suited us. Obviously, the threat from them being able to go long, it felt a lot more comfortable. And we actually mentioned that post-match, but yeah, he knows his players better than I do, and I'll never question his decisions. I've got the utmost respect for him. But yeah, I don't think he's played a lot in the last sort of few weeks. I think he's sort of building up his fitness, so that's probably the reason why. And they've got a bench full of quality as well, so they can obviously turn to that. But yeah, I was delighted to see him go off, I'm not going to lie. It is a difficult afternoon against him. I had a feeling it'd start today because last season here, he caused us real problems. He caused us problems at our place earlier on in the season, and he's a really good player. So, it definitely was something that I was happy to see the back of.
And for who did you think then kind of stood out for your side today? Because it felt a bit of a difficult one to kind of judge, but I'm sure you've got someone in mind potentially.
Yeah, I think I was really pleased with everyone. I think everyone done a job in a certain way today. So whether it was on the ball or off the ball, we had a lot of distance to cover. We played with wing backs because we wanted to get two up top. I think Slavi's deserved his opportunity, and we wanted to go with him again. So where we lacked with having an extra man out wide with a full back and a winger, we went with a wing back, so they're by themselves. So Josh and David had to get through a lot of work, especially Josh because he's the sort of more defensive minded one. I thought me, Temi and Bayliss at the back had a good battle up, and I quite enjoyed it. It was one of those games where you actually saw a lot of the ball. Two boys in midfield. Lench always drives us on like he has done for the past 6 years that I've been at the club. Christy putting a shift, and Leon comes on and adds to it. Johnny Goddard floating around, and Nathan and Slavy working hard up top. And then when Dan Lincoln caught the ball at the end there and come sliding out, I've never been so pleased to see him catch the ball and just take this thing out of the game. So yeah, everyone plays their part, whether you've come on the pitch today or you haven't. It's a collective. It always has been, always will be. I know some of the lads will be disappointed, but when you're winning games, it's really difficult to get back in the team. So yeah, there'll be opportunities. I'm sure we're not going to win every game, but at the moment, there's not too much wrong.
Just a quick one then before I use the inevitable P word, which I'm sure needs to be brought up every week now. Just a quick question about Christy Ward. I believe today might have been his last game, if that is to be just the month loan. Is there any news on that?
Yeah, so we've agreed to extend it. I think it's a no-brainer. He's done extremely well when he's played, and I think he's getting used to us. We're getting used to him. We obviously need bodies. We're light in numbers. And he's a pleasure to have around. So I think he's going to be a really good player in the years to come. But we're asking him to do a slightly different role to what he's been used to. He's more of an attacking midfielder, but at the moment with the lack of options that we've got maybe defensively and in midfield because of Tyrese and Jammers being away, we've asked him to be a little bit more reserved. And that's not his game, but it's part of learning. You need to learn different ways of playing football. So it will bode well for him, another string to his bow, but I think we'll see the best out of him in the coming months rather than the month we've just had, and he's done well in the last month, so I think the future's bright.
And then we'll turn our attention now then to what I said, the playoffs. Results have gone our way today, but not only that, we're a point outside, and then Bath City next week, who we are currently 4 off. We now have to say we're right in there, aren't we?
I haven't even looked at the table, Con, and I'm not doing the old cliche thing of next game and all that. I haven't looked at it. I've seen the results, but I don't know what it looks like. Just enjoyed the moment with the lads in there, like we always do. But yeah, listen, it's one of those ones. I know that we've got more than enough ability to be competitive against any team that we play, and I think we've shown that. It's about having the consistency, and over the past 5 games, I think that's 13 points now, so we're showing that we are consistent, and we've got there from just getting our heads down and working hard. There's no secret, there's no magic, and we are getting closer, of course we are. We can't lie, the league table doesn't lie, and we're in a position that I know that I think we've actually warranted. I think we've worked extremely hard. Everyone always credits us for that. But then what we've also got is players that can hurt you. We've scored a hell of a lot of goals. It's been exciting to watch, but at times we'd rather keep the ball out of the net and make it a little bit more pleasing on the eye, where it's probably a little bit more relaxed and we've got a couple of goals in front. But it's been a great season to be a part of. And what happens from here in the run-in, I think we've overachieved. So yeah, fingers crossed we might be able to pull off the unthinkable, but we'll just take each game as it comes and see where it ends up.
And finally then, we are going to turn our attention to that Bath City game next weekend. We went there in January, we managed to make a shock happen. Do you think you can do it again at Arbor Park? I
think Bath are a brilliant side. Never had an easy game against Bath, ever. So yeah, it'll be a tough game. They're coming to our place where we're extremely confident. We know that we play well at home, we've proved that. So I think they know they'll be in for a game, but they'll be happy coming to our place, probably thinking they can get a result. So they've got really good players. We'll have to be on our A game. But yeah, listen, bring it on. We're enjoying the moment. We didn't think we'd be where we were in the middle of September, but we are. And yeah, we've just got to embrace every single game that we go into. Said to the boys on Thursday night, we're not going to draw many games between now and the end of the season. I can promise them that, because we will be going for it. Probably doesn't help with my past when I used to like to take a risk and gamble. So I just said to the boys, 3 points is better than getting 1. I'd rather win 1 and lose 1 than draw 2. So we'll definitely be taking the handbrake off and we'll be going for the results. We know that we need to catch up on other sides. So yeah, let's just enjoy the ride and see where it takes us.
Congratulations, Scotland, today, and we'll see you again
Cheers,
next Saturday.
Con. Thank you, mate.